Hi there, greetings from Stockholm. I'm on a bit of a big Nordic adventure. I've never visited Scandinavia before, so this is the first time for me. And wow, first of all, I'm very lucky to have this opportunity, and the weather has been absolutely fantastic so far. And I'm really surprised because it's early September. So I take the boat cruise here because I was told that this is a great way to see the islands. They're part of the archipelago and learn about its history. There's a guide on the boat and he explains everything to you. So it's really interesting to learn that if you see like a red building or summer house, that it was likely belonged to a servant or a worker back in the day, because red paint was the cheapest to produce. Any red house or red structure would indicate that it was probably belonged to a working class person back in the day. Stockholm is such a beautiful city. So I love water. I love the sound of water, the smell of water. So it's really been fun exploring the city. I actually bought a 7-day travel pass. So this allows you to take the metro, the train, the tram, and the bus to get around the city. So that's worked really well for me. But I've been doing a lot of walking too, because that's a great way to get a feel of the city. And I was told to visit this historic food hall. It was established in 1888, and it's really super, super posh, but beautifully presented, all the stalls. And it kind of reminded me of a very, very posh version of the covered market in Oxford. So here you got the open-faced sandwiches, and that's a really big thing in Scandinavia. So I've tried one of these, and they're absolutely delicious. And I love seafood, and I would have no qualms having seafood in Stockholm, because you know that everything is going to be fresh, because the city's surrounded by water. I thought I'd try IKEA's meatballs in Sweden, because I was curious to know whether or not it was the same as the meatballs you get in the IKEA in the UK, and I can tell you it's exactly the same. And I also tried a cardamom bun. I'm not even going to try to pronounce how to say it in Swedish. And by the way, I'm not going to bother to even pronounce places or streets in Swedish, because I don't want to butcher the beautiful language. The pastries are absolutely delicious. So I had a good walk around Old Town, the ancient Old Town. And here you see the Nobel Prize Museum. And this is a beautiful square, isn't it? So I'm really glad that I'm visiting at this time of the year. It's considered a low season, so it's early September. There are fewer people, but look at those blue skies. I just got very lucky with the weather so far. It's really interesting, so many people cycling back and forth to work and walking to work. In America, where I grew up, there's very much a car culture. So it's great to see this. And of course, the metro system, the public transport, is absolutely superb. So the metro stations are incredible because they in themselves are like a tourist attraction. Most of them feature art installations, so you can actually spend hours just taking the metro and alighting and checking out the artwork at each station. They're done by different artists. And they're all signed off by the artists too. So I'm heading to the cultural hub, so to speak, in Stockholm city center. It's actually really so beautifully designed, and there's a place called the Culture House where I'm going, and I was told that photo booths are a really big thing, and people, or especially young people, they're into this retro trend to get their photos taken in photo booths. And apparently there are a couple of very vintage photo booths scattered about in the city, and I'm going to one of them. And what's really special about this particular one is that when you take it, they will provide you 2 strips of your photos, one in color and then one in black and white. And if there were any fans of AVICII out there, there's a museum right near the plaza called the AVICII Experience. Fantastic to see this. It was established in memory of the DJ, music producer AVICII. It was interesting to see this building appearing to be held up by this sculpture, and I call it the BFG, Big Friendly Giant. It looks like a giant, doesn't it? So how cool is that? There's so many amazing bookshops and magazine shops, and I came across this one, and I popped in, and look what I found. Greatest 500 albums of the 60s. So I'm really pleased that I found this here in Sweden, because I have the other 3 decades, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So how cool is that? Just across the street from the magazine shop, there's an amazing music shop, and they sell instruments, you name it, they have it, lots of drums. And this shop has so many fantastic music related accessories and items, and it's just really fun. It also had like a small selection of vinyl records. So I'm gonna give it a quick flip through. So as I'm walking from the music shop down towards a different neighborhood, I come across this sign, and this is like a red flag to a bull, isn't it? So I have to check it out. On my way to this record shop, I noticed that there's a house with a blue plaque on it. So that catches my attention, because in the UK you have blue plaques where they highlight that this was the premises or the house of someone famous, a historical figure. So I'm going to learn very soon from the owner of the record shop that's across the street what that is all about. So Per is the owner of the record store, and it's great to meet someone like him who's so passionate about music, because then he introduces me to some classic Swedish jazz musicians and also jazz singers, and then he actually recommended some records too.
The guy who used to live there was Bellman, who's like Sweden's most famous singer ever. He lived in the 1700s, and he was the king's troubadour. When Jim Morrison, when he passed away, they found in his library a book of Bellman's songs translated into English. And because there were some English people who liked Bellman and did it, but he wasn't so famous or known outside of Scandinavia. But Jim Morrison had a Bellman book, and he had written in it his name, and also he had underlined certain sentences. And some of those sentences were used in Doors songs. Like you said. So it shows how small the world can be. Like you know, so but it's a nice area. If you haven't been up here also to Mosebacke, you should check it out. It's like a theater up there called Southern Theater, where like Nick Cave have played, like you know, lots of famous Swedes, and Red Hot Chili Pepper played actually. Monica Zetterlund, she used to perform a lot up there.
Per also shows me, he says, the most famous Swedish jazz album, and he pulls out a couple more records that he recommended if I wanted to enjoy Swedish jazz music. So I noticed that there are lots of green spaces in the city. You got lots of squares, parks, and places for people to actually enjoy, like lots of benches for people to sit down and so forth. So I think that's really fantastic. I stumbled across this really cool cafe. It's called the Marley Cafe, and no surprise, this is named after Bob Marley. And this vintage shop is really cool. It has everything, and it's all packed in a small space. But they have so many records inside. There were like 8 boxes or crates of records outside, and they were all selling for less than £1 each. So I can't resist, so I'm just going to dig in. After going through all those boxes of vinyl, this is what I ended up getting. So I picked up 12 LPs, and I'm really happy with the stash. Again, I didn't expect on buying any records on this visit, but hey, you have to make hay while it shines. So first one is Tank, Bedtime for Rio. I've never heard of the band. This record came out in 2000. And I bought it for the cover. It's a blind buy. So a typewriter with the keys like that. I thought it was very artistic, and I have a thing for typewriters. I have a very small collection. Second one I got is the Beat Special Beat Service. So I actually have this record already, but this is in really good condition. So I'm going to upgrade the copy that I have already. And Eric Burdon, Survivor. So I don't have any of his records. Many of you probably know he was the lead singer for The Animals, and he also co-founded the group War. His songs, Spill the Wine and Spirit, they're absolutely fantastic. So I got these 2 Rolling Stones album. I don't have it, and I'm not actually familiar with this album, so I thought I'd pick it up. And then this one is really cool. It's Rolling Stones, Almost Hear You Sigh. I'd never seen this before, but it's a special gatefold sleeve. I'll just show you really quickly. Can you see it there? So this features a couple of their songs, and two of them are my favorite on here. It's Beast of Burden and Angie. I've got Electric Light Orchestra, a new world record, and this features two of my favorite ELO songs, Telephone Line and Living Thing. This is actually the original issue, 1976 or 1978, and it's in superb condition. And I'm a fan of Van Morrison, so I don't have these records. And it's Van Morrison live at the Grand Opera House, Belfast. And then you have Irish Heartbeat, Van Morrison and the Chieftains. And this was a real surprise. Folkways, a musical tribute to Woody Guthrie and Lead Belly. This is so cool, and I can't believe it. So what a wonderful gatefold here with awesome information about Folkways music and Lead Belly and Woody Guthrie. The jazz version of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. I'm not familiar with this musical, and this is a jazz version of the music featured in this musical. But what caught my eye was the Gary McFarlane Orchestra. Gary McFarlane was actually the producer for Gabor Szabo's Dreams album. So anything that he is involved with, I'm sold. Ramsey Lewis and the Sound of Christmas. I'm a big fan of Ramsey Lewis. I only have one of his records in my collection, so I thought this would be fun to have. It's been hole punched, so it's an import. This is my favorite of the whole stash. It's the In Crowd, the Ramsey Lewis Trio. What a great song. And this is a classic album. So this is actually a reissue. So this came out in 1968. But I love the artwork, and Ramsey Lewis is fantastic. And I'm a big fan of Young Holt Limited and their song Soulful Strut. So it's kind of like in keeping with that vibe there. But how wonderful is this? Show you that I'm walking around in this neighborhood, Solderman neighborhood, and I've just stumbled into the record shop. So here it is. I'm just going to show you. There it is. It's called Pet Sounds. When I see this, I think of the Beach Boys record, Pet Sounds. So maybe this record shop is named after the Beach Boys album. I have no idea. Books on music. We have CDs here as well. Floaters. I already have this. I've got 2 copies already, so I'm gonna give this one a pass. Got that one already. What a cool album. Archie Donald. I love their song Tighten Up. It's amazing. I listen to that song when I'm off to work. It really gets me going. Apparently this is supposed to be a classic Swedish jazz album. AVICII, nothing there. I'm not surprised. So popular. these albums are on sale for less than £1. I find this quite intimidating, but it's a pretty amazing display of just records, isn't it? All this giant shelf. And the owner did confirm to me that this shop is indeed named after the Beach Boys album Pet Sounds. Oh wow, 400 blows. That's a great movie. A great poster. I have to say, I think the Pet Sounds record shop is one of the best record shops I've ever visited. I mean, it's huge, it's massive, the inventory is spectacular, and it covers everything. And it kind of reminds me of the Galactic supermarket, record supermarket in Berlin, because there was just so many records. And the difference for me is that the ambiance here is really nice. You know, you got nice lighting, everything is super organized. So I find myself spending nearly an hour inside this shop, and I end up having a stack, clutching onto a stack of records. Then I had to stop myself and think, do I really need these records? And when is enough enough? So I decided, right, slow down. I'm going to put all these records back, and that's what I did. And I think the owner was kind of amused to see me spend so much time in this shop, and then for me to put all the records back. I think, you know, I have more records in my collection that I can enjoy in many lifetimes. But all the same, it's really fun to appreciate and enjoy a record store like this. So I'm going to stop here because I just wanted to share a glimpse of what I'm experiencing in Stockholm, and especially the record shop scene, and how lovely is it to stumble across these shops. So it's been a really welcome surprise and fun to explore the whole scene here.